Cam Ward didn't just open his mouth. He detonated a bombshell that split the entire NFL world in half. If you thought you'd seen it all, think again. Because this is spill news, where secrets don't leak, they explode right before your eyes. Shedeur Sanders, the golden name everybody can't stop chanting, walked straight into the spotlight after that Browns-Titans showdown. But what happened next? What Cam Ward said next? The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either. Two rookie quarterbacks, one historic game, and a reaction so raw, so unfiltered, fans were screaming. Bro said too much and they got him. But let's slow down for a second. Imagine you were in this position, your legacy questioned, your draft spot mocked, your silence taken as weakness. If you were facing this betrayal, this threat, this pressure, what would you do? Because one of them cracked the door open and the other kicked it off the hinges. This isn't just rivalry. This is ego, pride, power, and the beginning of a storyline so messy even the NFL is pretending they didn't see it. Let's break it all down. And trust me, it gets uglier. The night Cleveland lit up with cameras and chaos, nobody expected the storyline to twist as violently. Fans came for football, drama lovers came for controversy, and insiders came to study a rivalry that was already starting to smell like destiny. But what nobody knew, not yet, not until microphones flipped on and the adrenaline settled, was that Cam Ward had been carrying something heavy, something he didn't plan on sharing, something he wasn't supposed to say out loud. And when he finally did, he changed the entire NFL narrative in one breath. To understand why his words hit the league like a sledgehammer, you have to rewind the tape and see just how tense things had become. These weren't just two rookies coming from two different paths. These were two young men dragged into a storyline bigger than their careers, bigger than their teams, bigger than anything that signed up for on draft night. Cam Ward came into the NFL wearing the crown, the #1 overall pick, the future of a franchise starving for hope. He didn't ask for the hype, but everybody shoved it onto his shoulders anyway. Reporters praised him, analysts declared him the safest bet in the draft, and mock draft months earlier had practically tattooed his name in the top spot. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders entered the league with a different kind of noise, a father with a gold jacket, a fan base that worshiped him, and critics who couldn't decide if he was overrated or terrifyingly underrated. He didn't need the league's approval because every highlight he dropped rewrote the conversation. Every game felt like he was fighting ghosts from his father's era. Every snap was a reminder that he wasn't just Deion's kid. He was coming for his own legacy. So when the Browns and the Titans walked into that stadium, the atmosphere was thicker than the cold air rolling off Lake Erie. Everyone wanted one thing: answers. Who was the real franchise quarterback? Who had the stronger arm? Who had the better mind? Who would crumble under the lights? And who would rise like a headline nobody could escape? Cleveland didn't know it yet, but they were about to witness something that would be replayed on every sports show for weeks. Shedeur Sanders didn't just play well. He dissected the Titans in a way fans had never seen from a Browns rookie in the modern era. Every throw was sharp, every read was clean, every drive looked surgical. It wasn't luck, it wasn't a fluke, it was dominance. The kind of performance that makes front offices rethink everything they believed during draft season. And that's where things started to get ugly. Right after Shedeur cracked the 300-yard mark, becoming the first Browns rookie quarterback in franchise history to do it. Social media went ballistic. How did he not go #1? One fan tweeted. Another wrote, Cam Ward might be good, but Shedeur isn't. Even rival NFL players chimed in, posting cryptic emojis that sent the internet into conspiracy mode. Rumors spread that some general managers were already regretting their decisions. Some claimed coaches were furious behind closed doors. Others insisted that team scouts were distancing themselves from their own scouting reports to avoid the embarrassment. And while all this noise was exploding online, Cam Ward was miles away dealing with his own storm. He had gotten the win, but he didn't get the glory. He played smart, efficient, disciplined football. But instead of the cheers coming his way, every camera swung toward Cleveland. Every headline shoved him into second place. Every graphic on every sports network featured Shedeur's face instead of his. That's not just pressure, that's humiliation masquerading as post-game analysis. But here's where things really start cooking. Ward had seen the numbers. He had read the tweets. He had watched the highlights from the locker room screens. He knew exactly what narrative was building around him, and he could feel that weight, the kind that suffocates young quarterbacks before they ever get a chance to breathe. But as the cameras rolled into his post-game press conference, reporters sensed something different. Ward wasn't defensive. He wasn't rattled. He wasn't bothered by the noise. He was calm, too calm. And calmness, in moments like these, is the first sign that something big is coming. Before the questions even started, Ward took a deep breath and leaned closer to the microphone. His eyes scanned the room, not angry, not shaken, but strangely focused, like someone who had already accepted the chaos waiting outside the stadium. Reporters could tell something was off, but they didn't know what. They didn't know Ward was about to drop a message so unexpectedly raw that even the league office would pretend they didn't hear it. But before he delivered the bombshell that set the entire internet on fire, he did something nobody expected. He praised Shedeur, not politely, not vaguely, not with the usual scripted athlete lines like, "He played well," or "He's a tough competitor." No, he went deep. Ward talked about Shedeur's composure, his accuracy, his discipline, and then the line that made every analyst sit up straight, he said Shedeur was doing exactly what a #1 pick should be doing. Nobody was ready for that. Reporters blinked. Cameras zoomed in. Social media froze. Was Cam Ward calling himself the wrong pick? Was he saying the quiet part out loud? Was he admitting, even subtly, that the draft order was a mistake? The clip hit Twitter within seconds. Fans started posting laughing emojis, fire emojis, crying emojis, and paragraphs of trash talk that turned the comments into a digital battlefield. Broncos fans, Browns fans, Titans fans, everybody had an opinion. And even though Ward continued speaking, even though he went on to praise his teammates and talk about his execution, nobody could get past that one sentence, that one crack in the armor, that one moment of honesty. Insiders started whispering that Ward had been feeling the pressure for weeks, that he'd heard scouts comparing him to Shedeur behind his back, that some teammates even joked about Cleveland getting the better rookie. Fake DMs began circulating online, showing supposed conversations between offensive coordinators. One message read, "I told him Sanders was the guy." Another said, "Imagine if we'd picked the right one." Were these real? Probably not. Did people care? Not at all. Screenshots don't need proof. They just need drama. And in the middle of that drama was Cam Ward, quietly watching the world twist his words into a headline he never meant to create. But what he didn't know yet, what nobody knew, was that the real scandal hadn't even started. Because while Ward was trying to stay composed and respectful, someone in the room captured something else, something off record, something whispered, something that wasn't meant for public ears. And the moment that accidental clip leaked online, everything changed. But what came next, even his enemies didn't expect. The leaked clip didn't even reach the 5-second mark, yet it detonated across the internet like a grenade tossed into a crowded room. It wasn't loud, it wasn't clear, and it wasn't even confirmed to be Cam Ward's voice. But that didn't matter. Narratives don't wait for truth. They just need smoke. And this clip delivered enough smoke to choke every sports show in America. The audio, grainy and shaky, caught what sounded like Ward whispering to a teammate as he stepped off the podium. "They're gonna hype him till the wheels fall off," the voice said. "Doesn't mean he's built for it." That one sentence, muffled and possibly edited, became the headline of the night. Some people swore it was fake. Others insisted it was real. But the internet didn't wait for verification. Why would they? A good scandal never survives if you fact-check it too early. Within minutes, hashtags started trending, memes flooded timelines, and clips of Shedeur Sanders highlights were edited with captions like, "Built for it, Cam not so sure." Even players from other teams posted cryptic side-eye emojis. Media personalities jumped in with their own takes, fueling the fire with dramatic questions like, "Is Cam Ward finally cracking under pressure? And did the #1 pick just expose his real feelings?" But behind the social media circus, something deeper was happening. Insiders claimed that Ward's own team was scrambling, trying to get ahead of the narrative. According to one anonymous staff member, or at least someone claiming to be one, coaches were furious that Ward's comment, real or not, had blown open a rivalry they had hoped to keep quiet. They didn't want a rookie quarterback beef overshadowing their season. They didn't want unnecessary drama. And they definitely didn't want to deal with the PR mess that comes with two young stars being pitted against each other by the entire league. Meanwhile, over in Cleveland, Shedeur's camp was reportedly laughing at the chaos. Fake text messages began circulating showing Shedeur sending screenshots of the quote to friends with the caption, "Are we talking now?" Another fake DM claimed Shedeur Sanders himself jumped into the group chat saying, "Pressure? He'd been built for this." Whether any of these messages were real didn't matter. Fans believed them because they wanted to believe them. Scandals don't need truth. They need momentum. And this one, it was moving like a runaway train. While analysts debated the clip on live TV, blogs began breaking down every angle of Cam Ward's body language at the press conference. They studied how he paused, how he swallowed, how he glanced away from the cameras. They pulled screenshots comparing his expression before and after talking about Shedeur. One blog even released a 10-minute breakdown titled, "Did Cam Ward really mean what he said?" Experts weigh in. The experts were random internet users with microphones, but that's more than enough for an online audience hungry for drama. But behind all the noise, the real story was much darker. Ward felt trapped. According to a source close to the team, again, anonymous and possibly non-existent, Ward had been struggling with the pressure of being the #1 pick, not because he doubted himself, but because he felt like people were waiting for him to fail. Every throw was analyzed, every mistake was magnified, and now, with Shedeur's historic performance spreading across the league like wildfire, Ward suddenly found himself in a battle he never signed up for. When the Titans-Browns game ended, Ward had walked off the field feeling good, confident, like he'd done his job. He didn't know that hundreds of miles away, a rookie quarterback was rewriting history. He didn't know that fans were already changing their minds about who should have gone first in the draft. And he definitely didn't know that within hours, his name would be trending with tags questioning his future. People forget that athletes aren't robots. They have egos, emotions, insecurities. And Ward, despite his calm exterior, was living under a microscope. Every move he made was recorded. Every word he said was twisted. Every expression he gave became a debate topic. And now, with this leaked clip fanning the flames, the pressure reached a boiling point. But here's where the scandal takes a sharp turn. As the media ripped Ward apart, another leak emerged, this time from within the Browns organization. A blog claimed to have obtained a voice note from a staff meeting where coaches allegedly discussed how to protect Shedeur from the noise and keep his ego balanced after a historic night. One line, supposedly from an assistant coach, read, "Ward's gonna feel the heat. That's natural. But Shedeur, we gotta keep him grounded. He can't let the hype swallow him." This leak shifted everything. Suddenly, it wasn't just Ward under fire. Now the story was about favoritism, about internal pressure, about a team quietly shielding their star rookie from the growing madness. Analysts began asking, is Cleveland protecting Shedeur too much? And is the franchise setting him up for failure by feeding the hype? The narrative twisted into a tangle of accusations, conspiracies, and fan theories. And just when people thought it couldn't get any messier, a sports site posted what they called exclusive screenshots of Cam Ward's private messages. In one of them, Ward supposedly wrote, "Let them crown him now, seasons long." Another read, "They love you till they don't." Were these real? Who knows? Did anyone care? Absolutely not. Fans screenshot them, reposted them, debated them, and added their own commentary, turning a simple rivalry into a psychological war. But here's the thing nobody saw coming. Shedeur stayed silent. No tweets, no comments, no statements, no interviews. The silence spoke louder than any words. It made people wonder if he was strategizing, if he was amused, or if he was quietly preparing his own response. Silence, especially from someone with millions of fans, is powerful. It creates anticipation. It creates fear. It creates opportunities for people to make up their own stories. And they did. Rumors began circulating that Shedeur's camp was planning a response video. Others claimed he was waiting until the next game to send a message on the field. Some even said Shedeur Sanders was stepping in personally to control the narrative. The speculation grew so loud that major sports networks began covering the silence itself as a story. But while the world argued about what Shedeur would say, very few people noticed what Cam Ward was doing. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't defending himself. Instead, he was showing up to practice, taking snaps, talking to teammates, studying film, and acting like none of the drama was happening. Until one night, late, quiet, unnoticed, a reporter caught him walking out of the facility and asked the question every fan wanted answered. Do you really think Shedeur isn't built for the hype? Ward stopped, not irritated, not angry, just exhausted. And what he said next cracked open a whole new chapter in the scandal, one that nobody saw coming, one that shifted the rivalry into something darker, deeper, and far more personal. But just when we thought it was over, another name came up, and that name was the last person anyone expected to be dragged into this mess. It wasn't a coach. It wasn't a teammate. It wasn't a media personality stirring up chaos for clicks. It was someone far closer to the heart of the story. Someone whose presence turned the rivalry between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders into something deeper, sharper, and far more explosive. The moment the question hit him, do you really think Shedeur isn't built for the hype? Ward didn't flinch. He didn't snap back. He didn't dodge. Instead, he exhaled slowly, like someone who'd been carrying a truth too heavy for too long. Then he looked the reporter dead in the eyes and said, "Ask the people who raised him." 5 words. 5 words that sent the league into a tailspin. People didn't know what he meant at first. Social media was confused. Analysts were confused. Fans were confused. But that confusion didn't last long, because within minutes, someone connected the dots, or at least pretended to. A trending thread popped up claiming Ward was referring to Shedeur Sanders, implying Ward believed Shedeur's confidence came directly from being insulated, protected, and hyped since childhood. A claim like that hits harder than any insult. It doesn't just challenge someone's talent, it challenges their foundation. And that was all it took for the story to spiral into a new level of madness. TikTok creators made hour-long breakdowns. Sports podcasts exploded with debates. Did Cam Ward just call out Shedeur Sanders? Is he accusing Prime of manufacturing Shedeur's confidence? Did Ward just cross a line nobody touches? Narratives twisted, mutated, and multiplied until Ward's comment no longer resembled anything close to what he actually said. Meanwhile, back in Cleveland, things were beginning to unravel behind the carefully crafted silence. Shedeur's camp stayed quiet publicly, but internally, they were furious. According to one anonymous source, whether real or just seeking attention didn't matter, Shedeur felt humiliated, disrespected, and betrayed by someone he thought was a friendly rival. The source claimed Shedeur believed Ward was trying to weaponize his upbringing, using his father's legacy against him. Another rumor claimed Shedeur Sanders himself was preparing a statement, that he was not going to let anyone disrespect his sons, that he had receipts, that he was locked in and ready. Every hour brought new leaks, new theories, new doctor screenshots. The storm was widening, and at the center of it were 2 young quarterbacks who hadn't even played a full season yet. But what the public didn't know, what neither fan base knew, was the emotional toll the pressure was taking on Shedeur. Behind the confidence, behind the swagger, behind the precision on the field, he was dealing with the weight of expectations nobody his age should have to carry. People didn't see the quiet moments, the late nights in the facility, studying film until the hallways were empty, the mornings where he walked into practice pretending he didn't see the headlines calling him the real number 1, the messages from fans begging him to save Cleveland, the pressure to live up to a father whose name carried more gravity than most franchises combined. When Ward's comments spread like wildfire, it did something to Shedeur, not anger exactly, but something deeper, something like disappointment, something like betrayal. For months, he'd admired Ward, respected him, even liked him. They weren't friends, but there was something there, a mutual respect, an unspoken understanding of what it meant to be young, gifted, and under a microscope. Ward's sentence, twisted or not, pierced straight through that respect. And Cleveland felt the shift instantly. According to another alleged insider, Shedeur became more distant in meetings, quieter, more focused. Some said he was angry, others said he was hurt, but everyone agreed on one thing: he wasn't the same. Something inside him had changed, and not for the better. Meanwhile, Ward was dealing with his own internal battle. He hadn't meant to start a war. He hadn't meant to drag anyone into the spotlight. He thought he was being honest, not cruel. But honesty in the NFL is a weapon, sharp, unpredictable, and always ready to cut the person who uses it. As the backlash grew, Ward found himself trapped in a storm of interpretations he couldn't control. Some accused him of insecurity. Others believed he was trying to diminish Shedeur's accomplishments. A few even claimed he was jealous. And then came the final spark that turned this rivalry into a wildfire. A reporter, known for stirring drama, released an exclusive claiming that during the pre-draft process, one NFC scout allegedly wrote in a private evaluation, "War has the tools. Sanders has the image. Only one is built for longevity." The report claimed coaches questioned whether Shedeur's confidence was authentic or a product of his environment, whether he had the resilience to handle true adversity, whether he had the maturity to lead a franchise without his father's influence. The moment this leaked, fans exploded. Shedeur supporters called it coded criticism. Ward fans said it proved their point. Analysts yelled at each other on TV, tearing apart every sentence. The noise got so loud that even the NFL issued a statement urging responsible reporting, something they only do when things are dangerously close to spiraling out of control. Cleveland's next practice was held behind closed doors, but several eyewitnesses described the energy as icy. One claimed Shedeur didn't speak to anyone for the first 30 minutes. Another said coaches were whispering, unsure how to address the elephant in the room. Yet another claimed Ward was spotted sitting alone on the sideline, staring into space like someone replaying every mistake he'd made in the last 48 hours. And while fans debated, while media speculated, while retired players chimed in with hot takes, the emotional consequences were starting to show. Shedeur reportedly lost sleep. Ward reportedly turned off his phone. Teammates allegedly tried to calm them both down, only to be met with silence. Even family members got involved, with rumors claiming Shedeur's inner circle wanted him to fire back publicly, while Ward's team wanted him to apologize before things escalated further. But then something strange happened. Both quarterbacks showed up for their media availability that week, at the exact same time, in two different cities, facing cameras that were hungry for chaos. Reporters expected explosions. They expected insults. They expected war. Instead, they got something far more unsettling. Ward, looking exhausted but composed, said he didn't regret telling the truth. He didn't say what truth. He didn't clarify the comment. He just let the ambiguity hang like smoke. "I stand on what I said," he whispered. "You figure out the rest." Meanwhile, Shedeur smiled, but not the kind of smile that reassures people. It was a smile with weight behind it, a smile that hinted at storms forming behind his eyes. "Some people talk," he said quietly. "Some people perform. We'll see who lasts." No shouting, no insults, no meltdowns, just two sentences that froze the entire league. And then, without warning, Shedeur vanished from the media circuit. No interviews, no posts, no sightings. His silence became the story, and the story became a mystery. But the secrets, the tension, the rivalry that now felt personal, those stayed, and they were only getting darker. And there you have it. The truth no one was ready for. The truth everyone tried to deny. And the truth that now sits at the center of one of the messiest, most unpredictable rookie rivalries the NFL has ever seen. Cam Ward's bombshell. Shedeur Sanders' silence. The leaks, the whispers, the fake screenshots, the real emotions, all colliding into a storyline that feels bigger than football, bigger than rivalry, and deeper than anything the league office wants to admit out loud. But here's the real question. If you were in their shoes, same pressure, same expectations, same betrayal, same spotlight, what would you do? Would you clap back? Would you stay silent? Would you let the world twist your words into something you never meant? Or would you fight fire with fire and let your actions burn the field down? Because make no mistake, this isn't over. Not even close. This was just a beginning chapter of a story that's still unfolding behind closed doors, in locker rooms, in private meetings, in quiet texts that haven't leaked yet. Both quarterbacks have something to prove. Both have something to protect. Both are one moment away from rewriting the entire narrative. And when the next game kicks off, when the cameras roll, when the pressure hits again, one of them is going to snap the silence. One of them is going to flip the script. One of them is going to show the world exactly who's built for this and who's pretending. So tell me, what do you think happens next? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the real story is the one you help write. Hit that subscribe button, because trust me, this rivalry is far from over. And if you thought today's secrets were wild, the next chapter will leave you speechless.